Think of your favourite action movie. Even if it's an hour-long firefight with popcorn drooling explosives or peanuts, it's likely that it's got about half an hour worth of dialogue in there. In a video game, however, you'll find that you'll have about 10 minutes worth of dialogue within an hour of gameplay. Video games are enormously compressed because there are just so many other ways of telling a story other than dialogue.
It's what the characters say in cutscenes and dialogue boxes. It's the conversations NPCs have as you pass them during a quest. It's the words in the options menu and the loading screens. It's the flavour text describing equipment you pick up like guns, secret collectibles and hidden scrolls. Okay, it's a lot of things, but I'll tell you what it's not. It's not the high concept. It's not the idea behind a game. So if we think of writing for video games not so much as writing a story, but creating a narrative, just how do you go about writing for games? Let's catch up with our Stugan writers to find out.
What's your process when you write a game?
I've been researching a lot, like all the different processes, and kind of wing it as I go along.
Yeah. It's complicated and it changes. Sometimes you know, it just comes to you all at once. I'm sure you know exactly what I mean. And you're in the zone and you sleep and you dream about it and you wake up and it's the first thing that you can do, and then sometimes you just hit that wall and it's impossible. And you go outside and it's much nicer going outside here than going outside at home. You can have that time out, and it's actually really nice to have people that, or develop, like other developers, coders, programmers that are so different but are still just as intrigued in like the same area. Like you can talk fantasy but not necessarily like, what's your writing style? And get like that change of pace really helps just shake you up a little bit.
Yeah. So, but it's your first time writing for a game, right? Has there been any lessons that you've learned that you weren't expecting?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that I've noticed about writing for a game is just making sure that you are giving the player enough control, or at least the illusion of control. Whereas where I've come from, which is more like TV and film, you have the ability to control exactly what people are seeing every step of the way. And it's just been such a unique experience to kind of come into the game, writing for games, and just look at how you can apply that, but you know, just keep it open for the player too.
It's such a process of learning, and I mean, has there been anything that surprised you with entering the games kind of writing industry?
Probably how maybe very little people regard the writing as important. It seems like it's sort of an afterthought in many cases.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, good writing can make or break a game, in my opinion, but I'm biased, obviously.
No, I would agree. What are some of the issues that writers face?
Oh, I imagine there'd be a bunch of different ones depending where you are. I guess AAA, you know, you have like a huge group of people that need to be on the same page. And you know, you have like, there might be a couple of people that are working on one character, and everyone has slightly different like visualizations of what, you know, their quirks or mannerisms, but at least being just the two of us, it's fairly like free-flowing, like, oh, you know, maybe I envision her with antlers or without antlers or a third eye and bossier. You know, there's that sort of give and take.
I mean, how does that process of writing differ from, say, film to games, in the sense, that very literal technical sense of it?
Actually, funnily enough, it's been really useful using a lot of the skills that I've learned for film and TV. So looking at how the game story plays out in a 3-act structure. But the difference has been that because we're leaving breadcrumbs for the player to find, it's just working out where we leave those story clues, and it's not as linear as, say, you would have in a like a film.
Clearly, writing for games requires an extra special dose of secret sauce compared to traditional forms of narrative storytelling. I think that's it from us for this week, but subscribe to our channel if you want to see more from our developers, and in the meantime, get set for a brand new wave of storytelling based around everything you'd find in your pockets. We'll see you next week.